Welcome, here to talk about our new fan in the range of the Envirovent fans. This is the silent dual fan. It's called a dual fan for a number of reasons. First one being, as you can see from the fan, it's got a dual inlet, so around the perimeter here the air can come in and also at the front of it. It's also got dual control, so it's got a PIR sensor and a built-in humidity sensor stroke tracker, because it does both, which we'll describe in a minute. And it's also got dual purpose. It can be used as an intermittent fan or a continuous running fan. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'll take the cover off for you. So you take that cover off there, and then there's two screws here you loosen off. This one I've prepared earlier to save me doing any work. And that is just a piece of packaging that we can discard and get rid of. Always check there, impeller spins freely. First thing to do, make sure it's not been damaging packaging. You notice this one again comes with our toothpick there for adjusting the settings. So we can do that by here. I'll cover the settings in a minute. So that's your intermittent, continuous, and then a run on time for your PIR sensor. So what we've got looking on this one, I've said we've got a PIR sensor. So basically that's detecting movement. When there's movement, that'll actually turn the fan maybe on or send it to a higher rate depending on what mode you've got it in. And then we've got the humidity sensor there. So what I'll do is I'm going to go through first, I'm going to go through the intermittent setting of the fan. So let's look at it as an intermittent fan. So looking at the silent dual fan as an intermittent fan, first thing you'll need to do under this little rubber cover here, you'll notice there's two dip switches. The first dip switch is to set the intermittent operation, so we set that to on and that turns the fan on to intermittent. What that means is the fan is off until it's told to come on. The second dip switch is for your timer. It's currently set to off. That means the run on timer after the PIR has been activated runs for 2 minutes. If I flick that to the on position using a lovely little toothpick there, that will actually set the run on timer to 15 minutes. So currently it's on 2 minutes. So what happens here, the fan is on an off state, you walk into the bathroom in a WC, the fan will come on. It will actually only come on at about 75% of its maximum airflow rate. So it'll come on at 75%. If there's no movement detected within the 2 minutes, because I've got to set the timer for 2 minutes, the fan will then go back into the off state. If I set the timer for 15, it will run for 15 minutes. So if there's no movement within that time period, the fan will then just go off. The other thing that happens is the humidity sensor. There's two ways this works. So the first thing it will do is monitoring the relative humidity in the room, so the ambient humidity in that room. If there's a gradual increase in that ambient humidity, the fan speed will automatically speed up in correlation to that rise in humidity, and that'll start at around 43% all the way up to its full speed, 100%. So that'll just do it as there's a gradual rise, it'll gradually speed up. If there's a sudden rise in the humidity, so the humidity goes from maybe 65 to 70 very quickly, up to 95 or something, so you're having a really hot shower, the fan will go to full speed, 100% through full speed. When the humidity drops back below that ambient humidity level that it was recording, the fan will just go off. And that's it on its intermittent mode, so it's in that state of not working and not on, and then if PIR is detected or movement is detected or there's a change in the humidity, the fan will come on, and depending on what it is, it will then run on for a time on the sensor or it'll go back off when the relative humidity is dropped. That's the fan in the intermittent state. We'll now go on to how the fan operates in a continuous mode. Okay, so having the fan on continuous, so that would come under system 3 of the building regulations for the UK. Basically what we do there, dip switch 1, we put that to the off position. What will happen now is the fan will run continuously at a low background ventilation rate, about 43% of its maximum speed. Running continuously like that, and again you've got the two sensing there, so the first one being your PIR sensor. What that will do, again, if you wave at it, any movement, the fan will then go up to 75% of its maximum speed. If there's no movement detected after the time period, so again that could be the 2 or 15 minutes, the fan will go back to its trickle state. So you trigger the fan, you walk in the bathroom, fan triggers, it goes to 75% of its max. You have to go to the toilet, you come back out, and then after 2 minutes, no movements detected, the fan then goes back down to its trickle rate. The other one you've got there again is your humidity sensor, so same as the intermittent state, but you've got the fan running continuously at that 43%. It will then gradually speed up with slight rises in humidity, so if humidity changes gradually, it will change the speed gradually and slow back down. If there's a sudden change in the relative humidity, so you have a hot shower, something like that, the fan will go to 100% of its full speed When the humidity's dropped back down, it'll then go back, running back down to the 43%. The only other thing to note, when you are putting it in on a continuous mode, the backdraft shutter, you would remove that because there's no need for that backdraft shutter once you've got a continuous running fan. You'd only utilise that as an intermittent fan. You'll find a backdraft shutter can only be installed in one orientation, which if you don't get it twisted, you'll be able to get it back on. So that's the backdraft shutter. Fan there itself, you'll also notice just another thing on there, the fan and all the electronics are enclosed in a biomaterial cover, which is a plastic and then a rubber seal around there, giving it a good IPX rating, suitable for going in zones 1 or 2 of a bathroom, as long as they're suitably got RCD protection on them. And that's it really for the silent dual fan. Put it back together. Obviously you tighten them up with the screws and the cover back on there. So silent dual fan, dual inlet, dual operation, and or dual sensing and dual operation for intermittent or continuous depending on your requirements. Thank you, and we'll see you again soon.